Bo, have you heard the curious case of the German mayor
No.
being brutally stabbed?
Yeah.
13 times, in fact, in their stomach, her stomach, and her back.
Yeah. I thought she was dead, but apparently she's still fighting for her life, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah, struggling. I think there's no greater example of suicidal empathy, Western suicidal empathy, European suicidal empathy, whatever you want to call it, than this, I think, actually. The individual's name is Iris Stoltzer. Iris Stoltzer. Brutally stabbed at her own home by her adopted refugee 17-year-old daughter. Now, we know that because Iris herself has implicated her daughter. It's not just they actually thought it was the son, but no, it's the daughter. The son may be implicated and reports are really difficult to find on this. So forgive us, guys. We're recording this on the 9th of October, Thursday, the 9th of October. And honestly, reports are so difficult to find. You cannot find where these kids are from. They are refugees. They are of the black and brown variety because there's a blurred out image of one of them going away in handcuffs. Don't know where they're from, but the reports are all over the place. So they implicated the son because there was like pools of blood like in the basement or something like that, but then also elsewhere in his room. Reports are all over the show. So forgive us if there's certain bits of details that we're not quite aligning with, or you've read something that we may not have. It's really difficult to get a clear picture of what's happened. What is like unified though is she's come around and she's gone, it was that one. It was that 17-year-old that I adopted. She did it. Which is mental.
Gratitude. Yeah. I mean, that's actually a big part of the story at the moment, on the evening of the 9th, at least, is the news coverage that, I mean, loads and loads of different news outlets are covering it, but all of them it's minimal, really minimal detail, and uniformly they're not saying where these refugees are from. And the only thing we've got to go on is a blurred out image of a brown person. But again, it's that lies by omission thing that the corporate mainstream media always do, is that there's some sort of blanket sort of refusal, blanket lies by omission to give any real detail at the moment anyway of where this 17-year-old girl is from. Stab someone in the back and stab them 13 times. That's like that is a frenzied thing. Bordering on overkill. Obviously the woman isn't actually dead, but that's a frenzied attack. And in the back, I mean, what the hell?
Stomach and the back. It's really quite gruesome. So this little bit here on this article, this seems to be something which I've read this many times. So this is a approved narrative that they've put out, but it also is a true representation of what happened initially. So on Tuesday, police said that the emergency services were alerted about midday by the daughter that Miss Saltzer had been wounded in an attempted robbery. So I don't quite understand like what where these children are from is super important, and I spent nearly half an hour trying to find it pre-recording this. It's so difficult to find because you don't just flip and do stuff like that unless you're from like an active war zone or somewhere mental, or you are indeed just mental and you hate Europeans, which actually in Germany that's pretty often. That's pretty commonplace now. But it's quite odd because the child called the police, called the emergency services afterwards. Quite strange. Maybe, I mean, it is life-threatening stab wounds, so maybe the daughter thought she'd get away with it, and that, you know, Iris would die. Because it is odd, isn't it? Right, like furiously stab your adopted mother in the stomach and the back, brutally 13 times. Really, that's awful. That's real disgusting. And then call the police and the emergency services and be like, "Oh, robber, what?"
Yeah. It doesn't at the moment. It doesn't quite seem to add up. Other than this 17-year-old girl is straight up psycho. Straight up psycho. I mean, that's a classic thing, isn't it? From the Menendez brothers onwards, is that you do a murder and then you claim that you've come across the murder scene. I mean, that's as old as time. How many sort of murder stories is that the case? Oh, there's some sort of botched burglary and the person's dead. Well, it was you. It was you. I mean, it's such a cliche that quite often the person that calls in the crime did the crime, or the last person to see the person alive, sort of legitimately, is actually turns out to be the culprit. But yeah, I mean, who knows? Perhaps this 57-year-old, is it, German lady, was some sort of crazy bitch. I doubt it. I doubt it. But who knows? I mean, the point is, who knows? We don't know any of the real detail about it at this point. But it's likely, isn't it? It's likely that she's just allowed a monster into her home. That's what it seems at the moment. And there have been, haven't there, quite a lot of examples now of various people, bleeding heart liberal types, who allow an economic migrant into their home, who turns out to be murderous, monstrous, crazy, as far as we're concerned. Well, as far as anyone's concerned, crazy. It goes on to kill them or terribly assault them or just do various other crimes. It's not uncommon. It's not.
But actually, in the UK, it's very, very common. I mean, I could give it a Google now and come up with quite a lot. There was one, literally off the top of my head, I know two. There was one not that long ago. There was a woman that allowed, you know, an immigrant into her house just out of kindness, yet murdered, just completely murdered. She was, obviously, and then there was that case of the, I don't know if you remember it, but it went to trial recently, where I think it was a Colombian guy. I'm pretty certain it was a Colombian guy that was in the country illegally, was allowed into this gentleman's house, chopped him up, and his partner, put them in suitcases and threw the dismembered body parts off of Bristol Bridge, if I remember rightly. I don't know if you remember that one. That one wasn't that long ago either. I mean, there's two off the top of my head, you know. There was the case of the individual that worked at a migrant hotel in the UK, and there was a fight over biscuits or something like that. Yeah, she got stabbed and killed.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens all the time, you know. You don't understand how these people think. Obviously, that's not, you know, in her house, but you shouldn't be working with these people. No one should be working with them. Deport them, arrest, detain, deport, flog, get them out of the country. You don't understand them. They're not here for good reasons. And you and I've said it many times, actually, and maybe we'll do a whole piece on it, I guess, but you cannot ultimately bring these people into your country, tell them they're oppressed, tell them we are the oppressor, not expect them to harbor grudges against you, then also weaponize lawfare in their favor and not expect them to be emboldened by that, right? Like, come on.
Yeah. And coming from countries where they may well have been had a terribly vicious or traumatic early life, right?
Mm.
The idea of bringing in children from, I mean, slightly change, ever so slightly changing the goalposts here, but like from sub-Saharan countries that have had civil war for years and years, and they're like may well have been a child soldier or something from the
Mm.
Congo. So don't just accept that 15-year-old into your home or whatever, you know. I mean, Bill Burr does a bit about it. That
Mm.
like you then adopt that child and you tell them no about something, and they just like stare at you through their eyebrows. And it's like, oh, I'm just suddenly scared of this thing I've let in my home now. Yeah, yeah. Like children from the Syrian, if these turn out to be Syrians, I mean, because there's a lot of Syrians went to Germany, didn't they? A lot.
Well,
Yeah,
Syria's fine now. They can all go home, can't they?
yeah, right, yeah. Syria is absolutely stable now.
Well, no, they were all celebrating in the UK. They were all celebrating. Do you remember the fall of Assad? They were all celebrating here. Well, they can go then, can't they? They can go now.
That's another example of media blackout or media lies by omission. You don't hear much about that new government in Syria, do you? You don't hear a
Well, no, no, no.
great deal of breakdown about their new leader and what he really thinks, what his
Mm.
real values are and stuff. They just don't talk about it.
Do you mean the guy that was,
Okay, okay.
on a wanted list was part of a, terror organization? Yeah, well, that
Well,
guy. Do you mean that
yeah.
one?
I remember when he first took over, literally like the day or the day after his forces entered Aleppo or Homs or wherever it is. And there was a piece or two sort of in the mainstream media saying, this guy he's good. He's like the new light. He's the new thing. And then, but also immediately other sources were saying, no, he's like a crazy psycho Islamist dude. And here's the receipts on that. Da, 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 da. And then you just don't hear any more about him. Oh, right.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Right. That didn't stop Rory Stewart and what's his face going to go meet him?
Alistair Campbell, is it?
Yeah.
They're going to go meet him. Okay.
I think they already have.
Oh, right.
I'm
Did
very
they?
much certain.
Oh, well, that
I'm
passed me
very,
by.
very, very much certain they already had. They
Well,
met him. Yeah. Yeah, they met him. There's literally a photo of them all together. What?
did they try and
Oh,
spin it that
mate.
he's one of us? He's basically an English gentleman. He's basically a country squire. He could slip into
Look,
Buckinghamshire. Oh, I have
look
seen
at
that.
that.
That's right. Was this quite recently as well?
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, yeah. I do remember now. I didn't read about it in great detail, but okay.
Anyway, sorry, that was a wild sidetrack, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Don't let random third worlders into your house.
Yeah.
Chances are they're probably going to stab you.